We now have an update to a FOX23 investigation we first told you about last spring when a toddler was found walking around outside of Broken Arrow Daycare. This is video of what happened at the ATA Creative Learning Academy near Kenosha and Elm. DHS investigated and found that allegation was true.
Since then, Tulsa's investigative reporter Janna learned parents made another serious allegation against that daycare. Here's her follow-up.
I told you how a 2-year-old boy got out of that gate and wandered all over this parking lot and toward that road. DHS investigated that and something else, that kids were given melatonin without their parents knowing. This surveillance video shows how 2-year-old Waylon wandered away from this Broken Arrow Daycare, ATA Creative Learning Academy. Last spring, his mom, Ashley Miller, told me how much it scared her.
I don't know what I would do if he came up missing, you know, if I got a phone call, you know, with somebody saying that, you know, we can't find your son. I would be devastated. I'd be devastated, angry, and my heart would hurt. My heart hurts right now.
You can see Waylon all alone playing in the parking lot. Eventually, 2 utility workers saw him near the street. They took him by the hand back to the daycare and then called DHS. What did you think when you saw him?
I just started looking for the parent. I thought surely a 2-year-old's not going to be out here alone.
I came to him, put my hand out to him, and gave me his hand.
Ashley told me she will forever be grateful to the utility workers who stopped, paid attention, and saved her son.
I'm very thankful by the grace of God that he's still here. I just want to hug him and tell him thank you. You know, me and my fiance could not thank them enough for what they did. I'm just so grateful for them, really.
DHS investigated and decided the daycare was at fault, that Waylon squeezed out of this gate and workers weren't paying close enough attention. Later, the daycare secured the gate with this yellow chain. The DHS investigative report shows allegations of neglect and supervision to a minor child at a daycare, and it's marked substantiated.
Just be more cautious with who you keep your kids with every day. You know, people can act a certain way towards you and then be completely different behind closed doors, and that's what hurts me a lot. I feel like I was getting played.
Ashley told me about something else that happened at the daycare, something her 8-year-old daughter Rosie told her. Rosie would only go to the daycare sometimes, like when school was out for spring break. Rosie told her mom a teacher would give kids gummies. Turns out they were actually medicine, melatonin. Did your daughter say anything about being given that?
Rosie, she said that she did have one time.
Not just Ashley, but other parents reported that same thing to DHS. What would be their reason for giving kids melatonin?
I'm thinking the reason is to probably, you know, have them sleep all day and not care for the children, you know, make it easier on them. And it hurts that somebody is doing that to not just my kids, but other parents' children too.
I checked with DHS, and even though they said they can't do an interview, they did say they found the allegation about the melatonin was true. You can see on the DHS investigative report allegations of neglect and threat of harm, and it's substantiated. ATA Creative Learning Academy did file an appeal with DHS. The daycare's attorney sent me this statement. The attorney wrote this about Waylon getting out of the daycare. My client's position is not that the incident didn't happen or that it isn't serious. I think we can all agree that kids need to be kept safe, and we are all charged with doing what we can to minimize risks to their health and safety. So please understand that I am not minimizing the concerns of the parents, DHS, or you reporting on the matter. All that said, a significant basis for our appeal is that ATA is not being treated in the same or similar manner to other daycare facilities where very similar incidents have occurred. The attorney also wrote, at the very least, I believe these facilities should be forced to close down if ATA is going to be forced to close down after one incident. In July, I went to the daycare and saw no cars in the parking lot and a sign up that said space available. I knocked on the door, no answer. I checked, and the owner, Denise Littlejohn, changed her license to inactive status. I asked the daycare's attorney about that. He wrote, Denise Littlejohn didn't decide to close her small business that she took immense pride in running. She didn't have a choice after the news story aired and the mother of the child involved in that story campaigned so actively against her. All of that resulted in a significant number of parents unenrolling their children in the program, which forced her to close. The decision to close was financial. She was not going to be able to make payroll. Thereafter, we went ahead and placed her license inactive while we are appealing the recommendation by DHS that her license should be revoked as a result of this incident. At this point, I don't know that ATA will ever reopen. If we are successful in our appeal, at the very least, Denise Littlejohn will have the opportunity to reopen her child care center if she's able to figure out the economics to do it. What do you think should happen?
I think somebody needs to really be in trouble for what happened. I think the center does need to be shut down. If you love your kids like I do, as hard as I do, you wouldn't want your kids going back to a place like that.
As the appeals process goes on, I will follow up and let you know what happens. In Broken Arrow, covering news that matters, Janna Clark, Fox 23 News.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think Janna Clark should investigate? Let us know. Email FOX23 Investigates at fox23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search Fox 23 Janna Clark on Facebook.